What's up, y'all? It's your boy Al. Just wrapping up another Bible study. Just a few thoughts on my way home as I get ready to go home. And I've been talking to people. I'm one of the outsiders who believes that Caitlin Clark is an amazing player. And I believe she's been putting that on display lately as her team just wrapped up qualifying for the playoffs for the first time, I think, in years of franchise history. I have a lot of people who love Angel Reese and say Angel Reese isn't getting her shine. Why is Caitlin Clark getting so much shine over Angel Reese, all the other WNBA players? Listen, it is what it is, right? Caitlin Clark is a player that everybody loves. And she came to prominence doing her thing in college. And I have a lot of people who still on that, well, Caitlin Clark wasn't anything until Angel Reese, gave her shine in college. That's a lie. 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 Let me remind y'all how this thing went, right? Okay, so here's how it went. At the same time, I'm gonna tell this story. And at the same time, I'm gonna tell us, and there's a racial divide. Let's just get it out there. Black people hate Caitlin Clark, love Angel Reese. White people despise Angel Reese, love Caitlin Clark. And there's a great divide that came. And we did it as fans. We did it. We try to blame it on the media or whatever, but we did this as fans. And I'll tell you why. People forget. First of all, Angel Reese had nothing to do with Caitlin Clark's popularity. Okay, let's rewind. For those who have bad memories, let's remember how this went down. 2 years ago, Dawn Staley's South Carolina Lady Gamecocks were on the verge of going undefeated and becoming one of the greatest college teams in not just women, but college teams in history. And then this little pasty white girl out of Iowa named Caitlin Clark came and roasted them for, I don't know, what was it, 41 points or something like that in the Final Four. Destroyed them and destroyed Dawn Staley's and their team's dreams of becoming undefeated. This did two things. Number one, it brought attention to Caitlin Clark because she did go and beat an undefeated team, right? And that had nothing to do with Angel Reese. We know who Caitlin Clark is for the reason why everybody knows who Buster Douglas is, right? Everybody knows who Buster Douglas is and why Buster Douglas is famous. Buster Douglas is famous because he's the guy who beat Mike Tyson. He's the guy who beat undefeated prime Mike Tyson. That's why we know who Caitlin Clark is. She beat undefeated Mike Tyson. She beat the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks. It had nothing to do with Angel Reese. That launched her into national prominence. Being the underdog and beating that overwhelmingly favorite team and dropping bombs on them. If she'd had like 10 points, it wouldn't matter. But she dropped bombs on South Carolina that game. Right? And that did. Not only did that launch her into national prominence, but it immediately made black people angry. Why? Because we were all black people were rooting for Dawn, and I love Dawn. I followed Dawn since '96, U.S. Olympic team, and even before that, she was with Virginia. Black people were rooting for South Carolina. Black female coach, all black team. They finna do it, undefeated. And then this little white girl and all the black people got mad. You hear me? All the black people got mad. What did we do? We immediately went searching. Oh, they playing LSU. Now, black people hadn't watched the LSU women's basketball game ever. But all of a sudden, because this white girl beat South Carolina, all the black people jumped on board and say, let's go LSU. Y'all look like y'all got enough black players so we can root for y'all. And we're going to root for y'all to beat this little white girl. And white people saw that and went, oh, really? Since all the black people root for LSU, we going to root for Iowa. Right? And so they played, and props to LSU. Angel Reese and the girls, Flange, they got it done. Angel Reese comes, with the waving of the hand, which Caitlin Clark did, in another game. Pointed at her ring finger, and they beat Iowa. And all the black people were like, aha, that's what you guessed right. That's right. We did that. We even though we didn't do nothing, we did that. But you know how we are. We did that. And our white people went, oh, really? And immediately went ham on Angel Reese for that. And they went ham on Angel Reese, not because Angel Reese won, but because they looked at our response and we looked at how they were just clamoring over Caitlin Clark, and it just became this big race war. Race war. Race war. Race war. We did that. Fans did that. Media didn't do that. Fans did that. We did that. Black people just couldn't handle Dawn Staley losing, so we had to go find another black team to root for against the white girl. White people saw that the white girl was dropping bombs, so had to go root for her. And that's just we just race warred it. Now I'll say this: they both in the WNBA, they both doing their thing. Caitlin Clark looks like she's starting to put a little distance between herself and Angel for the Rookie of the Year. But here's the thing: I'll say a lot of the WNBA players and fans are mad that Caitlin Clark is getting the kind of attention that she's getting. And I don't know why they're mad. I don't understand why they're mad. People saying that she gets a lot of attention because she's white. Yes, from white people, because there are a lot of white people. White people root for them when you have, and I said this before. I think I've said this before on other videos I made, maybe. But if I haven't, let me say it. Anytime somebody performs in an area where there has been an underrepresentation for their skin color or nationality or race or creed, and they get in and they perform well, that person's group, race, nationality, creed, tribe will rally around them. And there were young white kids who rallied around Caitlin Clark, just like China rallied around Yao Ming, and the Philippines rallied around Manny Pacquiao, and black people rallied around Tiger Woods and Serena Williams. For all the black people who mad at white people for loving on Caitlin Clark, y'all, we can't. I mean, I'm sorry. I remember when Tiger Woods hit the scene. And every black person, old and young, you pass a TV screen, golf is on, first thing you do, what Tiger doing? Tiger on there, he on the leaderboard, where he at? You ain't worried about nobody else. You looking for the black guy. You pass by the TV, tennis is on, Williams sisters playing, they playing where the Williams sisters at. So you're not worried about nobody black, but nobody but the black people. You want to see Tiger because he black, or you think he black. You want to see the Williams sisters because they black. So that these little white kids want to see this little white girl who look like them, play like them. And I say this: there are people who say that Angel and Caitlin are both getting too much shine. Well, look, Magic and Larry got shine, right? The NBA was on the verge of being nothing. Then Magic and Larry came, right? And when Magic and Larry came, the NBA players didn't get mad at Magic and Larry. What the NBA players did, the other NBA players who thought that they should be getting shine, when the lights were on, when the NBA started glowing and growing because of the rivalry between Bird and Magic, the other NBA players, you know what the other NBA players did? Other NBA players did this. They said, oh, everybody's watching now? Cameras up, we got TV deal? Major? Okay. They watching Magic? They watching Larry? Okay. Well, let me show them why they need to watch me. Boom, here I go. Another player, oh, let me show them why they need to watch me. Boom, here I go. And then here comes Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the whole league focused in on Michael Jordan. What did all the other stars at the time do? Okay, cameras on Mike, cameras on Magic, cameras on Larry. Okay, well, we on this week. Let me show them why I'm supposed to be watched. Boom. Let me show them why I'm supposed to be watched. Boom. And before we know it, the NBA became a league of what? Stars, plural. Because all the other stars, not just Magic, Larry, Michael, but Karl Malone, John Stockton, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, Kevin Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, all the other stars who were in the league at that time say, okay, cameras on us. All right, let me. I know they see Mike. I know they see Larry. I know they see Magic. But let me show them when we're on against Magic, against Larry, against Michael. Let me show them Hakeem the Dream, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Let me show them why they should be watching me too. I know they're gonna watch Michael. I know they're gonna watch Larry. I know they're gonna watch Magic. Let me show them why they need to watch me too. Isaiah, let me get out here and show them who I am. Charles, let me rock the rim. Dominique, let me highlight film this thing. Let me show them why they need to watch me too. And that should be the mentality of the WNBA players. Not why they getting all this attention. The cameras are on us now. Okay, I think that's the attitude of Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson has never had a year like this. I think that's the mentality of Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson, okay, the camera's on. All right, bet. Let me show them why they need to watch Asia. Let me show them why they need to watch me. Let me go for 43, 41. Let me show them why, because I know they're gonna watch Caitlin. I know they're gonna watch Angel. But let me show them why they need to watch me too. That should be the mentality of all the WNBA players. The lights are on us. The cameras are on us. Now, maybe it was because of Angel and Caitlin. Who cares? Well, the cameras are on us now. Let's get it. Let me show them why they need to watch me too. Let me show them that they're not the only stars. Let me get out here and let me show them what I got. Just like the NBA players did. The NBA became a league full of stars because of all the other players didn't soak at Magic and Larry getting all the attention. Or didn't soak when Michael Jordan came to the league getting attention. They say, well, okay, I got some too. Let me show you what I got. And they became stars, superstars, just like those three. That's the WNBA. That's the mentality that the players should take. Show them why you should be a star. The camera's on you. Let's see what you got. We watching now. Let's see what you got. And then I'm going to end with this. Here's something that I hardly hear people talk about. They mention this to my brother-in-law. Because there seems to be a great mystery why Caitlin Clark became just... A lot of it has to do with the fact she's white and she's in a predominantly black game. And I do believe the media does a little bit too much sometimes, you know. But there's another thing too. See, first, when the camera's on her, she shines. See, if she goes out against South Carolina and does what she does against South Carolina, right, her junior year, then goes out there and loses to LSU and comes back the next year and bombs, then none of this is happening, right? If she goes out and she pulls a Buster Douglas for real, like Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson in the very next fight, lost and got knocked out by Evander Holyfield. If Caitlin Clark did the proverbial version of that in women's basketball, she would be nowhere. But not only did she go out there and bust South Carolina, lost to LSU, but made a good showing. Not only did she do that, the very next year she comes back and she leads the whole nation in scoring and breaks the NCAA scoring record, showing us that she's not a one-trick pony. She's not a Buster Douglas. Give her credit for going out there and doing what she did her junior year and coming back the next year and showing that it wasn't just a fluke. You got to give her credit for that. If she'd have came back the next year averaging 12, 13 points, and then they'd have put it in WNBA with all this hoopla, I'd have been like, okay, what's going on? But the girl came back the next year and led the nation, broke records. Right? So you got to give her pride. And then there's this. Then there's this. This is... People need to understand that above everything else that I said, or along with everything else I said, the reason why she's so polarizing is not just because of what she did to South Carolina. Not just because she came back the next year, led the nation, and broke all those records. Not just because she's having a spectacular rookie season. It's not just those things. It's all of those things combined with the fact that her game just happens to emulate one of the most beloved, transcendent stars we've ever seen in the history of basketball, and that is Steph Curry. If Caitlin Clark did everything she's done, all the accolades, the game against South Carolina, led the nation in scoring the next year, came back averaging 18, 19 points in her rookie year. If she'd have done all of that and her game was just mid-range jumpers and layups, we wouldn't be talking about her. Hardly at all. How do I know that? Because we've had white superstars before. Diana Taurasi, Elena Della Don, Brittany, what's the girl? Breonna Stewart, Rebecca Lobo, Sue Bird. We've had white female basketball players. Diana Taurasi is white, and she's considered by many the greatest WNBA player ever. She didn't get this kind of run. If Caitlin Clark's game was nothing but layups and mid-range jumpers, then she'd be one of them. But what pushes people over the edge is the fact that she looks like the female Steph. She doesn't just come down court and give us layups and give us mid-range jumpers. She comes down the court and she pulls up from the logo like Steph pulls up from the logo. And for the first time in the history of the WNBA or women's basketball in general, we have a case where when a woman does it, it looks just like when the guy does it. See, when Kobe took off from the free throw line and went airborne, it ended up with a dunk on Dwight Howard's head. Right? When a WNBA player takes off from the foul line, goes in, drives from the foul line, and takes off, it ends up in a layup high off the glass. When Dominique Wilkins came on a fast break, or Anthony Edwards today comes on a fast break, it's going to end up in a highlight spectacular dunk. The WNBA player gets on a fast break, it's going to end up in a layup. But when Steph Curry steps over the half-court line, he could pull up from the logo. When Caitlin Clark steps over the half-court line, she could pull from the logo too. And that's the first time in WNBA history you've been able to say that. That when a woman does it, she can pull up and she can have the same wow factor in her game that a man has in his game. There's never been a WNBA player. The closest thing we've seen to that is Maya Moore. There's never been a WNBA player who's had this, as a woman, the same wow factor in her game that a man has had in his. The same wow factor that we get when we watching Steph pull up from no man's land and pull threes and hit him, and we're wondering, oh my God, how did he do that? It's the same thing we see when Caitlin's pulling up from no man's land and hitting, and we're like, wow, how did she do that? It's the same as when she does it as when the man does it. That's never happened before. There's never been a WNBA player whose game mirrored the man's. Her handles, the way she dropped people off the dribble, off the crossover, and then step back and just launch. Just like Steph. We don't have a WNBA player that drops people like Kevin Durant. We don't have a WNBA player that soars like Anthony Edwards. We don't have a WNBA player that was yamming on people like prime Dwight Howard, applying prime Blake Griffin. We didn't have a WNBA player that looked like prime Kobe. But we have a WNBA player that looks like Steph. WNBA player that does it, and it looks like when the man does it. The deep three that wows it, that makes our jaw drop when Steph shoots it, she drops our jaw when she pulls it from where she pulls it from. That's never happened before. And y'all have to understand that's one of the reasons why she's so polarizing. Is because she gives us the same wow factor as a woman that a man gives, and that has never happened before in the history of the game. Y'all get mad at it all you want, but that's the truth. And that's why Caitlin Clark is who she is, and that's why she is where she is. It's your boy. Just some thoughts on my way home. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe. If you agree with me, you disagree with me, put in your comments. Let's chat it up. You're Angel Reese Hall. We can chat it up. You think I'm off? We can chat it up. But always do it in a respectful manner. Peace.